Good day everyone, so I hope you're all doing really well. On today's episode we have Kokomi flying through an asteroid belt. We also have Chaska flying in the air towards a magical shining castle right here in the background, and we have Foslos pretending to be Farina and taking stage. But seriously, it's now the 1st of June 2025 and this Imaginarium Theater has reset, and if I were a responsible Genshin Impact content creator, I would show you my brilliant team and brilliant strategy towards beating this new Imaginarium Theater. Just look at this peak gameplay in the background. But instead of doing that, I thought, well, let's take a tour of the Imaginarium Theater itself. So basically, you can see here we are out of bounds of Kokomi. Now, one thing I will say is that this first lounge area can be done by anyone. You see this little big hole here? Well, you can climb up this under one special set of circumstances, and that is if you do the Genshin Impact 5.6 Archon quest and you don't speak to Alice when you're in the Imaginarium Theater. In other words, you don't go to the new weekly boss, but if you don't speak to her, you will have your full party available and not just the usual traveler. And then you can literally just climb up the hole using Geo Traveler, Zhongli, Wanderer, Chaska, whoever. Literally, no glitches, no exploits, no internet disconnects. You need nothing of that sort. However, if you want to do what I'm now doing here in the background, you are going to need to have the aforementioned things, and I did discuss this in the previous video where we explored Foslaw's domain, exactly how there is a special glitch that allows you to die in the overworld and then get teleported into a domain at a fixed location depending on where you died. The TLDR is basically we can get into the Imaginarium Theater through a couple of different ways. The challenge will obviously not be activated because with that glitch all of the events and everything else that's event related typically would not be loaded, but that gives us a very great opportunity to just explore the inside of the Imaginarium Theater. Although I've got a bit of a confession, you don't actually start here. We start off kind of on top of the map, but the way this works is that this entire area is like a bit of a special dome that the game places on this first area where you do the battle, and when it unfolds the actual area kind of lights up. But if you don't let it light up, you actually get this beautiful dark sky effect. Like most players won't be able to see this whatsoever because you're supposed to see this during daytime or once the sky changes, once the box unfolds, and that's what you can see. I've kind of you can see just used the glitch to teleport in, and yeah, this big dome here is the theater. It is the stage where you are gonna be doing all of the battling and so on. So it is interesting to be able to walk here. Of course, there are certain restrictions. We can't fly infinitely far out of the map, otherwise we're gonna get teleported, and it's just then a lot of hard work that has to be redone, unfortunately. People think making glitches are easy. It literally takes about 40 minutes a shot, but in any case, due to Poyo's what I would call incredibly robust security, it's pretty easy once you're outside to just get back in. So this is how I got here to the inside, and I kind of figured then out how the entire stage and everything works, but at least we can appreciate all of the beautiful little creatures that Hoya made. One of the areas that you don't get auto yeeted out, or that you can teleport, is this little bit of a special area here that you can see. Effectively, I'm just doubling for the footage, otherwise this will be way too long, but this is a beautiful place with solid collision, can you believe it, where you can stand. It's not too far from the actual place, and it just looks really magical. Look how beautiful and pretty this is. It's just such a shame most people won't be able to look at this, and obviously we've got to do the whole Kokomi alt thing, and now we probably get the feeling that we're in a very magical place. Look at this combination. It really is awesome. But yeah, that's it for that area. The other areas, of course, are as you progress through battling, and as you can see here, we are with Kokomi in this beautiful castle-like area. One thing that I found out is that not only don't you have a lot of teleport barriers, but you can go really far out of bounds here, and everything has collision. which is so cool because we are definitely going to be exploring this place. This is going to be like the bulk of the video, so really you guys can start appreciating some of the sights. It's so gorgeous. There is obviously the little battlefield at the bottom, but effectively all of these castles and areas are reused assets from the official domain. If you remember in the first or the second Golden Archipelago, I think it's in 2.8, you had the special or official area, and literally these assets are like one for one just been teleported here. Although you can see like on some of the towers Hoyo's done some special things. Effectively, if you've got your Chaska, you're in the good because you can just like explore wherever you'd like. The glitch that I used, as I explained in a previous video, is a fixed teleport glitch. So even though I can get here by special means, I still have to explore unless I do a bit of what you call it experimentation, depending on where you die in the overworld. Then you might be able to teleport to a particular spot, but that level of experimentation is it's such a long hellish process that I'm not willing to do it. And you can see here the first time I got here I was kind of panicking with Kokomi because I almost fell off, and I know that my stamina is probably gonna run out soon, but hey, we got here, and then I was like, okay, you know what, we're gonna keep on doing this with Chaska. But it is very much possible to manually explore this place. I have explored this place fully, and it's just so gorgeous. I couldn't help but stop and take pictures with Kokomi, as many as possible. I'm going to go and post them on Reddit, because why not? I mean, we just love farming karma for no other reason than just making and promoting proper Kokomi propaganda. So that's kind of the person I am. But yeah, very conveniently, and I don't know if this is too conveniently done, but you can get to any area except that one castle placed there on the far right hand side. You can get to any place by literally just exploring. And I think the idea behind this place probably was that Hoyo had this planned out as part of like a sort of event, because it is just uncanny how everything has collision, how there are convenient paths between different places. But I do wish that in the future we can get some sort of event for this place where you are encouraged to go around and explore. Typically in places like these, you'd be hit by a teleport barrier by now. You wouldn't be able to physically stand on all of this. So I was quite surprised that this domain is as fully made as it is. So yeah, hopefully you guys can see a bit of that in the background. Yeah, that castle right there, you can't get to it. Well, technically I can get to it if I experiment enough with where the fixed teleport glitch is going to drop me, but like, what would be the point of going to one very far out of bounds type of place? Oh, and you don't have your usual like gimmicks to be able to infinitely keep yourself afloat. In any case, getting to this castle and this mountain's easy. You can see the little tower there on the right hand side. You come to this back of a tower, you can climb up. It's like, yeah, it's very cool. I love exploration like this. You know that you're not going to find anything. You know that this whole place is effectively dead and empty, but it is cool. It is cool to see like the inverted towers and all of that. And then finally, I think this is probably the area most people are looking forward to. What happens when we go into space? Well, not much. In fact, this is probably the smallest area that Hoyo has made, and there's literally nothing beyond it. But once again, you've got the Imaginarium Theater at the bottom and a lot of half circles here that represents the planet. So nothing really special, but at least we can say now properly that Kokomi is flying through space. You can see here as I attempt to go through the space that it's just a massive sphere that engulfs the place, and if I do a bit of an internet disconnect, we can fall through, and obviously after a while, the moment we reset, the teleport barrier is just going to hit us. But this looks like Kokomi is like running across the microwave, or the cosmic microwave background radiation, something like that. Sorry, I'm not messing up my words. In any case, as we explore here in double speed, you'll notice that the planets are fake, just like the stars in Genshin Impact. So Jupiter, Saturn, all these places, they're really cool to get to, and then whoop, they're fake. So yeah, I think the conspiracy is that Hoyo kind of did the moon landing. So that's I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on that. Regardless, just like last time, because we're not entering from the Imaginarium Theater, but we're entering from the top, we can try and break into the actual theater itself. So I'll show you guys that in just a bit. But we're obviously going to appreciate Kokomi here standing with the planets and like literally just dashing through the asteroid field, as I alluded to earlier. Sorry, that was like such a cool thing to do. I mean, imagine without any context, you just show someone a short clip and you'd be like, hey, in Genshin, we can go through an asteroid field, or you show this to a veteran Genshin player. They'd be so confused. It's just really, really awesome. In any case, Kokomi herself literally is the destroyer of planets as she goes through them, and we're now going to go finally to the big little stage here in the middle. So this actually also shows you that the final stage itself also has the Imaginarium Theater box, because once you complete it, the whole thing kind of like folds up, and we just need to get here past Hoyo's like brilliant security to get onto the stage. So yeah, that took a bit of a while. By while I mean it was nothing. And yeah, here we are at the night time of the stage. You don't really see this because the lights pop up and then you get like the rolling credit screen and so on. But regardless, it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool to see this place in just a bit of a different lack of light, if you will. Sorry, that's a bad pun. Oh well. Any case, this looks cool. I didn't know the tree can glow like that. I don't know if anyone's noticed that, so I'm going to do the usual thing. Let Fossilors take the stage, and then let Kokomi pop her ult, and then we will then end the video. So guys, thank you so much for watching this little bit of a goofy video. I've learned a lot of things of exploring the Imaginarium Theater, and I can just thank you so much for watching. Cheers.